Hey everybody, welcome back to another week here at Creators Call on YouTube. I'm thrilled to have you here with me today. I am going to be working on a project today. This is going to be the first in a series that I'm going to call Revisiting Abandoned Projects. The series won't run back to back per se, but from time to time I'm going to drag out things that I started when I was first learning how to put things together, trying out new techniques, and then I put them away, and now I thought, well, let's bring them back out and see after, all this time has passed, if there's actually something I can do with it. So this is the first episode, and what we're doing today is we are revisiting this collage sheet that I did probably 2.5, almost 3 years ago. And I collaged it on the back of a grocery bag. Now that idea I got from Diane at Shawcraft1 here on YouTube, and it was something I thought I would try. I'm not very good at collage, as you could probably tell from seeing this. Oops, now it's upside down. Anyway, what I need to do with this, it's been hanging in my closet for 2 years. And so what I want to do with it today is put a backing on it, put some kind of plain paper backing on it so that I can cut these apart into tags and journal cards and actually use it and get it out of my closet. All right, so go ahead and get your drink, get your snack, get yourself situated and all comfy cozy. And then right after the intro, we'll be back. I'll tell you what I'm going to be using and we'll get started. See you right after this. So what am I going to use to put on the back of this collage sheet? Well, I have lots of different things, and honestly guys, some of this has just been sitting over on my desk just piling up for way too long as a gosh, I'm gonna do this sometime project. So this is the sometime is here. So I have all kinds of different things, like these were the plain pages that come out of hymnals and books, so that's good for putting on the backs. Little scraps of writing paper, scraps of scrapbook paper, and do any of you guys remember this? Do you remember these? The dots and close to my heart packs of papers. Yeah, these have been sitting in my stash for way too long. So I thought the ones that are that have more blank space or that are lighter colored, those would be good for putting on the back, because what you're wanting is the front side is decorated. What you're wanting is some plainer things, maybe with some interest. Like, see these? These have this Metals USA and some writing on them. I don't even know whose phone number that is. I don't know if this one will work or not because it's got writing all over it. We'll take that out. Or like this, where I was stamping on something and I just had all the stamping off, it was in the background, and so I was just using it, but that'll make a nice backing on a tag. I've got envelopes. I've got these writing sheets that I'm not even sure I like this notepad because they rip. Every time I try to pull one out, I like it because of the lines. They have colors, but every time I pull one out, they rip. Yeah, so you just want things that are more plain and that you can write over the top of. I'm going to try some of this tissue paper that came in an Etsy order. It was all wrapped up in that. And then I went through my scrapbook stash. These guys are just sitting over there mocking me. So it's time to get them out of the scrapbook bin because some of these have been there for far too long. This one has a note. Backs are not blank. And I think I wrote that in case I wanted to use it on a project, but see how the backs had some stamping and things on them? But the front will be fine for writing. So that's what I've got. And then I even have, there's some more junk mail. Here's the hymn page. See, that one's coffee dyed. So you can use the back side. This is where I was testing my ink my printer colors, see if the printer heads were clean. So why not? Why not use this? Or, you know, it'd be kind of pretty on the back of a tag. And then I've got some really couple of giant envelopes that have interesting patterns on the inside, if you can see that. Yeah, and then I have some smaller pieces, kind of like this. There's another bin here with just a little bit smaller pieces. So I'm going to say I am no expert at collage. Let's make sure I'm going the right way. Not that it probably matters when it's collage. Okay, yeah, I'm oriented. So what I'll do, I think most people work from one side and across, but I kind of feel like working from the middle out. Is that a bad idea? Although if I work from left to right, some of this will get out of my way as I work on it. So I guess we'll go left to right. So I have my homemade decoupage glue, which is just, this is 2-to-1 all-purpose Elmer's with water. I've heard 3-to-1. I think it just depends on how runny you want it. And I got an old couple of applicators. One's a sponge and one's a paintbrush. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and get started. If I feel like I need to comment, I will add it to a voiceover later, but I am just going to speed up the camera and see how far we get in the next 20 minutes or so. All right, I'll talk to you on the other side of this. Okay, guys, I think that will do it. I was moving pretty fast, for me anyway. So what I'm going to do here is wipe up my glue because I don't want that to get all sticky. And I'm sorry, I know I kept having to reach across my space here because I had to keep moving things around as I spread the collage, you know, as I kept moving it across the table. So anyway, I hope that wasn't too distracting, and I hope I'm not shaking the camera too much right now. Yeah, well, that was kind of fun. So what I did, I wasn't super worried about straight versus torn edges, although over here, see, this is buckling up already. Over here, I wanted, since these pieces were more on top, I wanted them to be torn on all the edges. Otherwise, it just looks weird when you start overlapping. That's one thing I noticed on my back side. So I think I see some spots I'm just gonna have to go back over. Not all the papers are super thin. Some have different thicknesses, and so they're not laying as well as I would like. But yeah, after this dries, then we'll come back in a different episode and we will cut it apart and into tags and things and see what we get. So that's actually part of the fun, is that you go from the front side then and just cut it apart and see what you get. I also didn't worry too much about whether or not, like this edge here, whether or not they were hanging over, because as we trim this off, then I'll get nice clean edges. So you want them to hang over the edge a little bit when you're doing this, so that as you trim up the paper later to cut the tags and things, then you have nice completely covered edges that way. So that's what we got. Let me show you again, left to right. So this doesn't quite fit in the whole, you know, in the whole scope of the whole frame of the camera, but there you go. Yeah. So today's quote, we are going to read from one of our creativity cards today, and this one says, "Add comfort." I was definitely comfortable while I was doing this. And it says, "From a bathtub full of rose petals to bowls of only yellow M&Ms, traveling movie and rock stars are notorious for their idiosyncratic requests." There's your word for the day, idiosyncratic. Although these predilections may be a bit eccentric, we understand why they want their own personal comforts on the road. How can you make yourself as comfortable as possible while working? Are there special teas, slippers, or pens that allow you to feel taken care of while venturing off into the creative wilderness? Pamper yourself as needed to make that trip safe and comfortable. There you go. Add comfort. So while you're working on your creative endeavors and projects, just get yourself comfy and figure out what little things you can add to your space that will help you to be in a happy and creative frame of mind. And with that, we will finish. And like I said, after this dries, I'll come back in a different episode. We'll cut these apart and see what we wind up with. So part of the element of surprise. So until next week, everyone, I want you to be inspired and do something creative today. Talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.